Dungeons and Dragons. 6 kids get sucked into a fantasy world by a carnival ride, each handed a magical item by this mysterious figure called the Dungeon Master. The mission was straightforward: find a portal back home while staying one step ahead of the villain Venger. They never made it. The show was canceled after 27 episodes in 1985. No ending, no closure, nothing. The last episode closes with the Dungeon Master promising, once again, that a way home exists. It doesn't. For years, an urban legend spread across the internet that there was a lost episode revealing the kids had died on the ride and were trapped in hell. It wasn't true, but the reason so many people believed it came down to something simple. There were 2 endings, and people kept mixing them up. Writer Michael Reeves had turned in a script for a finale called Requiem. The episode was never produced. Decades later, the original voice cast recorded an audio drama version of it for the DVD release. In that script, Venger would have been revealed as the Dungeon Master's own corrupted son. He would have been redeemed, and the kids would have finally had their shot at going home. Silverhawks, made by the same studio as Thundercats, the same team, released the same year. The formula was identical. Animal-themed heroes, powerful villain, toy line, 65 episodes. Thundercats became a legend. Silverhawks vanished. Silverhawks was set in the 29th century, a team of heroes who were part human, part metal, wings and all, tasked with taking down an intergalactic crime syndicate led by Monstar, basically the deep space version of Mumra. It was visually impressive for its time. The villains were memorable. The music was solid. But while Thundercats kept getting re-released, remastered, and celebrated for decades, Silverhawks just quietly slipped away. Thundercats has seen multiple revivals since 1989. Silverhawks, for nearly 40 years, has had none. The most accepted theory is simple and brutal. Thundercats got there first. By the time Silverhawks premiered, the market was already full. The same formula, used twice, only works once. Galaxy Rangers, the first animated space western in American history. Space sheriffs, cybernetics, magic, intergalactic colonization, all at a time when every other cartoon was still selling swords and war tanks. The show blended science fiction with the spirit of the Old West and stood out for being more than just a toy commercial with a moral tacked on at the end, something rare in 1986. The characters had real backstories, arcs stretched across multiple episodes. The team's leader, Zachary Fox, had his wife kidnapped by the villain in the very first episode and spent the entire series trying to get her back. The animation was handled by Japanese studio Tokyo Movie Shinsha, and the result looked unlike anything else on TV. 17 years later, Joss Whedon created Firefly, Space Sheriffs, Intergalactic Frontier, the same DNA. Firefly became an instant cult classic, won awards, still celebrated today. Galaxy Rangers, 1 season, 65 episodes, then it was gone completely. Inhumanoids, this one wasn't normal. The show followed the Earth Corps, a team of scientist heroes fighting 3 massive monsters living beneath the Earth's surface. Standard enough for the 80s. What wasn't standard was the content. Because Inhumanoids villains were actual monsters, not armed terrorists, the show slipped past censors that would have stopped anything else cold. It became so notorious for its disturbing content that it turned into urban legend in Germany, where a story spread that a children's TV channel lost its broadcasting license after airing it during a morning kids programming block. The story was false, but the fact that so many people believed it says everything. 13 episodes, canceled, and it left behind a fan base of adults who still can't believe that thing ever aired on children's television. Visionaries, a planet where technology stopped working overnight and magic took science's place. Knights with animal transformation powers, 2 sides at war, a morally ambiguous sorcerer caught in the middle. 13 episodes. Then it was over. The reason wasn't low ratings. It wasn't poor toy sales. Hasbro simply ended their contract with Sunbow Productions. The decision caught everyone off guard and simultaneously canceled Visionaries, Gem, and My Little Pony, while halting production of new Transformers and G.I. Joe episodes in the US. Mighty Orbots, an American-Japanese co-production about 6 robots that combined into one giant robot to protect the galaxy. It was considered one of the best produced, best paced, and best edited cartoons of its time. Visually, it was years ahead of Voltron and Transformers. 13 episodes. Then Tonka filed a lawsuit. The claim was that Mighty Orbots was a ripoff of their GoBots toy line. The lawsuit turned out to be groundless, but the legal complications were enough to get the show canceled before any resolution ever came.